Well, the race for space has always been a competitive one, but it's an area which has mostly been dominated by governments. As we've just seen in Azar's report, this is starting to change, though, as private businesses look to space for new opportunities. Let's take a closer look. The space race started in the 1950s between the Cold War rivals, the United States and Russia. Both countries wanted to prove superiority in terms of science and research before they realized the importance of rocket research to military advancements. In the 1960s, China decided to launch its own space program. It's now working on a plan to establish a permanent Chinese space station by 2020. Well, in recent years, the United States has made huge cuts to its space budget, and private companies are stepping in to fill the gaps. Billionaires such as Elon Musk, Jeffrey Bezos and Richard Branson are now the big players in the space industry. Well, let's hear from Saurav Roy now. He's the senior producer here at TRT World. Saurav, look, let's just look at mining in general. On Earth, it's quite an expensive operation. You try doing that out in space, it's incredibly expensive. Are there profits to be had here?
Well, absolutely. Because on Earth, there are rules, there are regulations,
right.
there are hindrances, there are obstacles, governments, taxes, so many other things. Space is the final frontier for a free market. So once you're out there, there's no rule. I mean, any
a bit
celestial
like the Wild
body.
West, trying to stake your claim, the gold prospectors of the 19th century?
Absolutely. So any property, any celestial body that you land on is essentially yours to mine. There is a treaty, but that is applicable only for countries. Just because the Americans landed on the moon, it doesn't make moon an American territory.
Okay.
But for private companies, there is no territory. So
the moon's not like Puerto Rico then?
Moon's not like Puerto
So
Rico.
what are the best things that you're going to find out in space and bring back home and sell?
Well, to start with, I think if I can sum it up in one line, zero gravity is equal to zero tax, which means that whatever you get there is all for you to make a profit out of it. If I were to mine and if I were to figure out which planet or which asteroid or comet that I would have to mine on, I would figure out for elements or for rare earth metals which are used or which are in demand here on Earth. I would definitely not go to Jupiter where it rains diamonds and it's all there for me to collect.
It's a little bit difficult to get there, right?
Difficult to escape its gravity.
Just really quickly, who's winning in terms of this industry now? You've got the private sector, you've got the governments, the public sector, or are they working together?
I think it's a wonderful symbiosis. They're all working together. They're peacefully coexisting. At the end of the day, it's the technology that is winning. It's the industry that's winning. I mean, 10 years ago, the phrase reduce, reuse, and recycle was used for plastic bottles. Now we're using it for rockets. We are reusing rockets. We are using rockets that have been fired in the past, and we're sending them back into the space again. So I think it's the technology that is winning, and it's giving us a great edge.
Okay, Saurav, thank you very much for that.